My beloved child, before you let today's noise settle into your heart, listen carefully. The town is talking. Faces that once smiled at you now whisper when you pass. Doors seem to close a little faster. Eyes linger a little longer. And every rumor carries the same painful sentence. Your daughter is the reason why everyone is laughing at. But what if I told you they are laughing without knowing the full story? What if the voices surrounding you are not speaking truth, but only repeating what they never stop to understand? Don't skip, because before this message ends, you may discover that what looks like shame today is quietly becoming the greatest testimony tomorrow. The crowd always believes the loudest voice, yet history has shown that the loudest voices are rarely the right ones. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a pattern that few people notice. Whenever someone is preparing to step into an extraordinary purpose, ordinary people begin creating extraordinary stories about them. They laugh before they understand. They judge before they witness. They speak before they know. Your daughter may have become the center of conversations, but conversations cannot define destiny. Remember this: people often mistake courage for rebellion, silence for weakness, and uniqueness for failure. While others are collecting opinions, heaven is preparing answers that no rumor can erase. Every whisper that reaches your ears is testing one question: will you believe what the crowd says, or will you believe what is being written beyond their sight? Stay till the end, because the next chapter of this story is nothing like anyone expects. So instead of fearing every voice around you, watch carefully for the unexpected signs. Sometimes the very people who laughed the hardest become the first ones searching for forgiveness when the truth finally appears. The story being repeated across the town is only the beginning, not the conclusion. There is a reason this message found you today, and it is not by accident. Hold your peace for a little longer. Refuse to let temporary opinions become permanent beliefs. Because when the hidden pieces finally come together, the same streets filled with whispers today may become the streets where people wonder how they ever misunderstood her in the first place. And when that moment arrives, everyone will realize they were laughing at a story they never truly knew. A strange silence always comes before the truth makes itself known. The whispers may still be spreading, but look closely, something has already started to change. The people who seemed so certain are beginning to question their own words. They expected your daughter to disappear beneath the weight of their opinions. Yet she is still standing. That alone confuses them. You see, rumors survive only as long as nobody asks for the truth. The moment the truth begins to rise, every false story starts falling apart on its own. Don't skip, because the next few moments may completely change the way you see everything that has happened. There is one detail almost everyone has overlooked, and once you notice it, the entire story looks different. Sometimes the greatest victory is not proving everyone wrong. It is remaining faithful while everyone else misunderstands you. Think about this for a moment. If your daughter truly was what they claimed, why do their stories keep changing? Why does every person tell it a little differently? Because lies depend on imagination, but truth never needs editing. The crowd loves excitement more than accuracy, and that is why they keep feeding the same rumor. But what they cannot see is that every challenge she has faced has quietly been shaping a stronger future. While others spent their time talking, she was growing. While they laughed, she was learning. While they judged, something greater was being prepared beyond their understanding. Stay till the end, because there is one final piece that connects everything you've heard so far. And when it clicks, you will realize this was never just about your daughter. It was about revealing who would choose gossip over grace. If this message speaks to your heart, take a moment to share it with someone who may need this reminder, and if you don't want to miss what comes next, subscribe and stay with us for the rest of this journey. Here's what nobody expected. The same voices that created today's headlines will not have the final word. Time has a remarkable way of exposing what opinions cannot. One unexpected moment can erase years of misunderstanding. One undeniable truth can silence 100 rumors. So don't let today's laughter convince you that tomorrow has already been decided. Hold on a little longer. Watch carefully. The story is moving toward a moment that nobody in the town sees coming. And when that moment finally arrives, people won't remember how loudly they laughed. They'll remember how completely they misunderstood the one they were talking about all along. The moment everyone has been waiting for is closer than anyone realizes. By now, the town believes it already knows the ending, but that is exactly where they are mistaken. The most surprising chapters of life are never announced in advance. They arrive quietly, changing everything in a single moment. Imagine the expressions on those faces when the truth they ignored begins to stand right in front of them. The whispers that once echoed through every corner will suddenly lose their power, not because someone argued with them, but because reality will speak louder than every rumor ever could. Don't skip, because what comes next is the missing piece that turns this entire story upside down. Have you noticed that people are quick to celebrate someone else's mistakes, yet strangely silent when those mistakes are proven false? That is because admitting the truth requires humility, and not everyone is willing to do that. Your daughter was never meant to live by the opinions of people who only saw fragments of her story. Every tear, every lonely moment, every unfair judgment has been building a strength that cannot be borrowed or imitated. The crowd believed they were watching someone fall, when in reality they were witnessing someone being prepared for something greater. Stay till the end, because the final moments of this journey will reveal why none of these painful days were wasted. What feels like rejection today may become the very reason her future shines brighter than anyone imagined. Now listen carefully. There is one lesson that the entire town is about to learn, whether they expect it or not. A reputation can be questioned, but character always reveals itself with time. When the hidden truth finally comes into the light, those who laughed first will be left searching for words they can no longer find. The story they repeated with confidence will no longer make sense, because truth has a way of rewriting every false conclusion. So refuse to let temporary voices become permanent beliefs. Hold your peace just a little longer. The ending is approaching, and when it arrives, it won't just change how people see your daughter. It will change how they remember every word they ever spoke about her. That is the moment no one sees coming, and it is far closer than they think. The story does not end with the voices of the crowd, it ends with the moment the truth can no longer be hidden. Right now, many people still believe they understand everything, but they have only been looking at the surface. The deepest truths are often invisible until the perfect moment arrives. And when that moment comes, even those who seemed the most confident will be forced to see the story through completely different eyes. Something huge is waiting for you, because the final revelation is not about revenge or proving anyone wrong. It is about watching truth quietly accomplish what arguments never could. Every whisper, every doubtful glance, and every careless opinion is about to meet something stronger than itself, undeniable reality. Picture the day when the same streets filled with whispers become filled with silence. Not because people suddenly stopped talking, but because they finally understood they had spoken too soon. That day has a way of arriving without warning. One unexpected moment can erase years of misunderstanding. One honest revelation can rewrite countless false conclusions. This is why you were never meant to give up when the voices became loud. The greatest stories are remembered not because they began with applause, but because they overcame disbelief. If this message has encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe so you don't miss future messages that remind you to keep believing when the world doubts. As this journey comes to its close, remember one truth above everything else: people can create opinions, but they cannot create your future. The town may have laughed at a story they thought they understood, yet the final chapter belonged to truth all along. Long after the rumors fade, what will remain is character, perseverance, and the quiet strength that refused to surrender. So walk forward with confidence, not because everyone agrees with you, but because you know that temporary misunderstandings never have the final word. And when people look back on this story, they won't remember how loudly they laughed. They will remember how completely they misunderstood what was unfolding before their eyes. Sometimes the greatest ending is not when the crowd changes its mind, it is when the truth stands so clearly that no explanation is needed anymore.